Diplomacy, in its general sense, is the art of dealing and relating with people in a sensitive and tactful way and manner. And now, what is food or cuisine diplomacy? It is best described as cultural diplomacy through food by winning the hearts and minds of people through their stomach. Now, listen to this. A Nigerian man in Canada is in the news with his agege bread. Stick around for this interesting story. And that's not all. The Nigerian Employment and Consultative Association, NECA, visits NIDCOM and calls for stronger diaspora engagement. And more to come as members of the All Nigerian Nationals in the Diaspora, ANNID, are in Nigeria to observe the general elections. And on our health segment, Anpa is ready with health tips. And of course, we do not forget our diasporan of the moment. This is your favorite program, The Diaspora, and I'm your host, Koinsola Adetumbi. Please stay. Welcome back. Now let's begin with the trending feed of a Nigerian man making Nigeria proud in food diplomacy through the production of agege bread.
Here with Wally at Gray Matlock Bakery, an incredible story. We've been touring small businesses in Brampton to really highlight hidden treasures. Wally came to Brampton in 2016, set up his own small business in 2018, and now this bread is so incredible. So you've opened up locations in other cities.
Yeah, we have a branch in Calgary. We have 4 different franchise locations: Waterloo, Oshawa, Ottawa, and Windsor.
And it all started in Brampton.
Yes. Agege bread is a original Nigerian bread, baked the way we eat bread in Nigeria.
3 or 4 years ago, when I first met Wally, I got a loaf of bread. I wanted to try it. I wanted to try out traditional Nigerian bread, and I took it home, and my son Theodore fell in love with it. So now, the only bread he'll eat, I can get bread elsewhere, he won't eat it. He will only eat your bread. This is an official recommendation from Theodore, best bread in town, best bread in Canada.
And I'm so proud. You have a business in 2018 going through COVID, right here in Brampton, making African bread and exporting it across Canada. It really shows that, in Brampton, you can really, especially being the logistics capital of Canada, really you can scale up your business right here in the city.
Like you said, Mayor Brown, I did try the bread. I wish I could eat it again. I finished it very quickly.
You want a whole loaf?
It is incredible bread. Come on down, support small business. It's what we need here in the city.
Brampton gave us like a very good stage to present our business, our product to the whole of the world. Because the cosmopolitan nature of Brampton, we have so many ethnic nationalities. So it was easy for everybody to have a taste of the bread and to spread the word. And that's why today we have the bread in all of Loblaw's chain of grocery stores, No Frills. We started from No Frills. We're in Canadian Superstore. We're in there. We're in, all across Ontario and even the western part of Canada.
I think one thing that is common with all successful small businesses, and this has been a very successful small business, is that you've got an owner-operator who's present. And every time I come here, well, you're here. Yeah. You're looking at the quality of every loaf, and that hard work, that determination is responsible for your success. So thank you for being a role model in our community. And I can't wait till Gray Matlock Bakery is a name known across Canada.
Not done yet with the agege bread. Honorable Abike Jabiri Arawa, Chairman CEO of NIDCOM, had an interview with him via Zoom. Please take a listen.
Good, thank you.
Okay, thank you for joining us. It's going to be a very short meeting. Really, the idea is to meet you, to commend you, and congratulate you for the beautiful things over there, and taking Nigeria to the world. We're so proud of you, and that's why we said we before we meet you. So, thank you for taking time off. But let me start by asking you, how did you decide to take agege bread to Canada? Now it's all over the world, and we're celebrating you. How did that happen?
I think the first thing is I got to Canada and I saw that there's a gap. There wasn't one single Nigerian bakery in the whole of Ontario. And the whole of Ontario was about almost 12 to 40 million people. So that's like more than 1/3 of the whole of Canada. So we saw the gap. There were so many bakeries from the Ghanaians, about 4 Ghanaian bakeries, and of course, all the national bread, the big ones in Canada. And and the Nigerian community was growing, and we're spending our money buying bread from other ethnic nationalities. So that was one of the motivating factors.
What about the money to set up? How did you get that? Did you get
Well,
support from them?
That was a lot of challenge too. In fact, when I came to Nigeria to learn in January of 2018, one of the things I did then was to sell the ideas to, of course, I didn't have enough money to start, So I sold the idea to some of my family friends and friends that, okay, I have this business idea. It's a big gap. There's no Nigerian bread. And one of the feasibility study we did then was to find out the Ghana bread that was making weight, who were the people eating it? We realized that over 60% of their market is from the Nigerian community. And this is not a Nigerian bread. So people were eating what was just close to the bread, not exactly what they were looking for. So that forms the basis for telling people that I think I found a good business idea so some people believed in me. I remember my auntie. Well, I call her my auntie. She's actually my wife's auntie. She gave me $20,000 that go and start with.
Yeah. Do you have some of the bread with you over there?
Yes, I can.
Can we show you?
I can show you.
To buy it via Zoom.
I'm going to switch my camera to the other side now. Okay, this is the oven.
Oh, wow.
And you can see the bread.
Yeah. So how many of this do you produce per day, and what is the market like?
The market is very, very, right now, we are no longer just a Nigerian bread, we have, I'll show you a sample of the bread. So this is the agege bread.
Yeah. Wow.
So customers come and we retail it to them. So this is the point. The factory is at the back, and customers coming from here to buy retail too. When my son is free, he works as a sales boy here.
Hi, sales boy.
Hello.
Hello. Can we see you? That was Nigeria where you came. Did you enjoy yourself?
Yes.
Do you want to come back again?
School was fun.
It was fun.
How about the Nigerian food?
Good.
Was that the best? What was the best part of your fun part? The food?
What's that? The food? What food?
Astrobot Lounge.
What's your favorite food? What's your favorite Nigerian food?
Jollof rice.
You love jollof rice. So that's the bread coming out of the oven.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we have a lot of Nigerians working with us here.
Mr. Wale Smart Oyerinde, the Director General of the Nigeria Employment and Consultative Association, NECA, has reinstated the need for a shift in consumption of remittances from social safety to investment. He stated this during a visit to NIDCOM and was received on behalf of NIDCOM's boss, Honorable Abike Dabere Arewa, by Dr. Sule Yakubu Bassi, Secretary to NIDCOM.
While we appreciate the quantum of remittance, we believe two things. That there is still a massive opportunity for remittance to double once we create an environment that increases the confidence of an average Nigerian outside. And also, secondly, predominantly, the large quantum of the remittances that are coming, we also are worried because they tend to focus more on consumption rather than real investment. While investments are commendable, but we also believe much more can be done within the context of investment. And the consumption nature of those remittances is born out of basically the socio-economic issues that we have. So I have a brother in the US, he sends me dollars. The first thing I probably would think about is, okay, it's probably food and shelter. And investment becomes
And now Naira.
And now Naira becomes, and now Naira. Before we now start thinking of investment. So our role, one of our own recent decks, one of the things we do is promoting enterprise competitiveness and defending the right of the private sector, say, through all legal and legitimate means.
The average diaspora has 4 things that they bring to the table and they can bring home. 1, their resources. 2, their talents. 3, their skills. And the 4th is the global exposure that they have being in the diaspora. And many of them are interacting and engaging with us here in NIDCOM. In terms of diaspora home remittances, we hit $22 billion as of 2022. The COVID slowed things down. By 2019, we were on $25 billion that comes into this country from our diaspora. But it went down to 17 billion in 2020 because of the COVID, but it's building up again. That's the one that we can capture and record. 2022 was 22 billion. We have Nigerians bringing in all kinds of things. Since the COVID, 15 hospitals of global repute has been established in Lagos, in Abuja here, in Owerri, in Port Harcourt, by our Nigerians in the diaspora. So you can see where NECA comes in, because all these investments that these people are putting in Nigeria, they are employing people, they are creating wealth, both for themselves and for the country. They are also helping to build the economy and to develop our country.
And now let's take a short break with Boya Linko leading us.
Ha! Not so fast. Look, I'm tired. I want to check out of this country for greener pastures.
Just calm down for a moment. Please sit down.
Do you have a job where you're going to?
No, but someone is arranging, Listen, Linko. Checking out of this country without proper planning means one thing. Unimaginable begin. I've been in the diaspora, but legitimately doing great things at home and abroad. As I've been saying, without the proper footing abroad, the risk is not worth it. Listen, Alinko, it's better to be home than be trapped abroad, or even end up in prison.
Some members of the all Nigerian nationals in the diaspora have arrived in Abuja as accredited INEC observers ahead of the 2023 general elections, though they cannot vote as they have no voting rights yet.
We think it's unfair that we don't have the opportunity to participate in the economy that we are helping enormously to grow. But also, we know that this is a democracy, so things have to follow the democratic process and democratic order. But we are encouraged that we are at least talking about it. Okay? So the fact that we're talking about it means that it is important to a lot of people. Okay?
Yeah, you are now in Nigeria. What brought you here?
Good question. I'm in Nigeria as a member of the all Nigerians in the Diaspora NGO. They have been monitoring elections in Nigeria since 2011. And this is a group whose mission is consistent with my personal interest. Okay, their mission is to participate in the electoral process in Nigeria to the extent that they can. Okay, their preference obviously would be to be allowed to vote. But since they can't vote at this time, the next best thing that they've chosen to do is to help and aid the process so it is seen as being fair and credible with integrity. And so I am part of that group, and we are here to do what we've always done in the past, which is to observe the election for the purposes of giving an independent, unbiased report of events that occurred before, during, and after the electoral process. Okay.
We have a DG for Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM, who is very, very able and capable, very passionate about our cause. She's been working with us for, her name is Honorable Abike Dabire, an awesome lady occupying that position for us. And she has been doing everything within her reach to make sure that the diasporans are able to vote. Just like she made sure that the commission was created for us, she is working tirelessly to make sure that Nigerians in diaspora are able to vote. And us also, we are also putting pressure through any which way we can to make sure that the government, pay attention to that very, very important issue, because diaspora's voting will make a big difference in the democratic process.
Thank you very much. Now, can you tell us why you're in Nigeria as chairman or global chairman of all Nigerians in diaspora, all Nigerian nationals in the diaspora? So why are you in Nigeria?
Well, the interest in Nigeria will never die. I don't care how people criticize this country. It's still one of the greatest countries in the world. We love this country, and people, the community that I represent, the diasporan community, they are very passionate about what is happening in Nigeria, and they're not willing to turn their back and not be a part of the process. So Nigeria is going through a stage where a new administration will be ushered in, and we feel that we have to be a part of the process. With the passion that we have, the commitment that we have in this country, we all feel that there's an obligation for us to pay our ways, because we are volunteers. Personally, I have to volunteer. All of us are volunteers. Come here with our personal money. Nobody's paying our ways because of the passion we have, to see the country grow, to see the country survive. So that passion is what is driving us to come here in the midst of all the insecurities, risking our lives to be part of the process. So a lot of people are coming, and over 150 people will be here for this election from the diaspora, and that's quite impressive.
If you go through the list of accredited organizations or the list of observers for this election, ANID is the only one that's been trained. So they have the professionalism, the experience required for conducting these elections. We have other bodies, they're just because they're an embassy or they have some other, they do other things besides election observation.
Right.
But
So
ANID is the only
you
one.
have absolute confidentiality.
Oh,
and
definitely.
neutrality.
Absolutely. And they're competent and they're experienced. And I know that all of them are not partisan and they're not interested in any particular group or leaning. So I believe in them and I'm ready to work. Thank you.
And now to our health segment with our ANPA doctor.
Telemedicine, as you know, has been out for a while now, made more popular during COVID. But what AMPA is doing with telemedicine is a little different. Whereas we have a lot of apps that are episodic in nature, you call when you have a cold, you see someone, but you don't see the same doctor, there is no management of any chronic disease. AMPA brings to the fore a new program of continuity of care. Let's remind ourselves of certain facts. We do know that the life expectancy in Nigeria is 55 years. We know that among the top 10 contributors to mortality includes chronic diseases like diabetes and hypertension. We also know that the physician to patient ratio in Nigeria is 1 to 10,000 when the WHO recommends 1 to 1,000. Therefore, there is no effective way to control the risk factors, to take care of patients, and to decrease and improve high, healthy living standards. This is where AMPA comes in with telemedicine. Telemedicine has become one very novel contribution to healthcare delivery in Nigeria. How does it work? We have a cohort of patients that we're piloting in Edo State, PHC, about 50 of them. We're looking after their high blood pressure and their diabetes. We have shown so far in our pilot study that these numbers improve as we see these patients weekly and give them free medications. On AMPA side, we're spending about $1,000 per week per physician that is undergoing this consultation for free. We're also spending about $1,250 to provide free medications to the patients. And we are spending about $700 every week, again, for the incentive payment for the staff on the PHC level at the ground level. At the state level, the collaboration and partnership with the Edo State government has brought us into a partnership where they are giving us the telemedicine hub, which is the PHC. They are giving us the telemedicine software, and we are asking also for a vehicle to be transporting the patients to the telemedicine hub. All of this so far is reaching up to $35,000. So when you're talking about scaling up from the AMPA contribution to the partnership with the state government, we are looking at about $40,000 to $45,000 to establish a functioning telemedicine hub that we address those issues I just have. We are mitigating the physician shortage. We are mitigating the care continuum. And we are bringing access to care to the patients that wouldn't have had this access. Telemedicine is huge. Telemedicine is the answer.
Our Diaspora of the Moment is next with Shalewa Ajila presenting.
Our Diaspora of the Moment is Dr. Shubulade Smith. Dr. Smith is a consultant psychiatrist with 27 years experience in psychiatry, 20 years at consultant level, and a visiting senior lecturer at the Institute of Psychiatry, Psychology and Neuroscience, King's College London. She currently holds positions at the South London and Maudsley NHS Foundation Trust, SLAM, where she is the clinical director for the forensic service. She previously ran the Forensic Intensive Care Unit at SLAM and prior to that, the General Intensive Care Unit at the Maudsley Hospital. Her ward was shortlisted for Psychiatric Team of the Year 2011. Dr. Smith was voted a BMA Pioneering Consultant and nominated as a Woman of the Year in 2002 for the development of her one-stop shop, a medication review and physical monitoring clinic for people with mental health problems. Dr. Smith is recognized nationally and internationally for her work in the hormonal and reproductive effects of antipsychotic medications. Dr. Smith is a clinician with a strong academic focus who has published over 60 journal articles, research letters, and book chapters in the field of psychiatry. She is a highly skilled clinician with expertise in a broad range of mental health problems, from common disorders such as anxiety and depression to more complex problems such as psychosis. She has many years' experience working with people with comorbid disorders. Examples of bipolar illnesses complicated by substance use, depressive illnesses with PTSD. Dr. Smith is a trained expert witness and has extensive experience of media-collegial work, including personal injury, clinical negligence, employment issues, family and criminal work. She was awarded a CBE in the Queen's Birthday Honours for services to psychiatry in June 2019 and won the prestigious Royal College of Psychiatrists Psychiatrist of the Year Award in November 2019. Dr. Smith becomes the 18th president of the RC Psych and will replace current president Dr. Adrian James when he demits office on the 11th of July at the college AGM, which is being held during the RC Psych International Congress in Liverpool. She will be the college's first Black president and the 5th woman at the helm. Congratulations, Dr. Smith. We celebrate you as our Diaspora of the Moment.
No doubt it was an interesting episode of your favorite show, The Diaspora. Be our guest next week. And I remain your host, Koinsola Adetumbi. Bye for now.